Hello and welcome to the absolutely amazing Paul Rogers. Thank you so much for joining me. So you
Thank you.
have to
Thank you for
meet.
having me here, Glam.
Yeah, so good to have you. Oh, so Paul is somebody that you must meet. He is the CEO and founder of the Business Profit. He's had experience as CEOs, he's had experience in consulting, he's done incredible things on his journey, but it really all started when he connected with coaching. And that journey has been an incredible journey. And I've seen you grown and just blossom so much, Paul. And I know you're gonna get so much from hearing Paul's story. So please help me give an absolutely warm welcome to the amazing Paul Rogers. How are you, Paul?
I'm very well, thank you, Glam. Thank you for having me on here.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, I've got incredible. I know all the things I know who you are now as this amazing business coach who's you're working with trades and making such a big difference for them. You've got members coming in and joining you every single month. You've got, I think, coaches working under you now as well. So the business is growing, and there's so much success that you've created, and it's such an inspiration. And I love to start back from how did it all start? So, because take us back to the beginning of this coaching journey for you, and how did you get started on this journey of becoming a successful business coach?
Yeah, sure, Glam. So, yes, I was being a CEO of our family wine business, which I'd done for
Mm.
17 years. But I got to a stage, and it was through the death, actually through cancer, of my mentor who I'd worked with
Wow.
for 6 years. And I always planned on going back to consulting once I sort of left full-time work and going into early retirement.
Mm.
And through that process, I realized that why wait? Why was I
Yeah.
sort of hanging around doing something that I was getting a little bit bored? I'd been a CEO for 17 years, so I knew how to do it inside and out,
Mm.
but I wanted more. And so
Yeah.
that's when I really sort of started to reach out and look for coaching programs. And when I found TCI.
Yeah, amazing. So how did you know that what was that more like for you? Because I know so many people resonate with that. A lot of people start on this coaching journey because, maybe they've had a successful career, or maybe they had something that they're doing now, but they're kind of losing that passion for it. Or I know
Mm,
a lot of people doing it just because that's something that they're always meant to do or supposed to do or have to do. So, and they
yeah.
wanted more, there's that calling inside them that says, you've got more in you. So
Mm.
how did you connect with that? How did you know what the more was, and what helped you, I suppose, be brave enough to step into that and explore that?
Yeah, great question, Glam. For me, so when I left school at 16, I really didn't enjoy school. I didn't enjoy the
Mm.
style of learning back then. And it was only back when I was actually doing a CEO role, I actually did a master's degree in marketing. But when I was looking for coaching, I didn't want just another course where I sat and
Yeah.
learned stuff. I wanted a program where I actually learned as I went.
Yeah.
And for me, when I found the Coaching Institute and how they train and how you guys really embed the knowledge, I knew I was home. I knew that was the place to be. So, and
Yeah.
once I went to my first foundations of coaching success, and that's one hell of a scary ride, and sort of just so much going on. I knew, yeah, this is the right place.
Yeah, amazing. So tell me about that moment of when, you walk through the door and step into Foundation Coaching Success, because that's the very first training that, all of
Yeah.
us students attend. And I have so many people who remember the date of their Foundation Coaching Success, but that's the day and the month. And
Yeah.
what was that moment like for you walking through the door and stepping to that very first training?
Well, it was a really easy one for me to remember because that weekend that I did my Fox or foundation was also the last. It was the end of the financial year, so it's the
Mm.
30th of June, and it was also my last day as the CEO of the family business. So I
Mm.
decided right then and before coming to that I was going to give up the CEO role and pursue coaching. So walking
Wow.
into the room, it was quite unreal because the the whole environment is just so different to anything else you experience in training. It's not a typical training environment. There's lots of loud music and dancing and a little bit of singing and lots of hugs, which obviously we can't do much at the moment. But it just felt like almost like a family get together rather than an actual training course. And all these other people coming for that weekend that were just as scared, I think, and apprehensive and anxious and probably a little bit overwhelmed and just not sure what's going on. So it's a great environment where everyone's in the same boat. Everyone has got no idea what to expect. And you just grow and spend a huge amount of time with people that you end up being lifelong friends with.
Yeah, amazing. And what were some of the key learnings that you had from foundations? Like, how did that help set you up with the foundations to become a successful business coach?
If I'm truly honest, Glam, Fox was a bit of a blur.
Yeah.
And I'm actually looking forward to going back and doing Fox again.
Yeah.
Whether it's as a ninja sort of crewing or to do again now I'm in the Masters Academy. But I think there's a few key takeaways from that, and the key one was that we have to work on ourselves first before we can work on anyone else. And through that weekend, I realized that I needed a lot of work, more than I expected. So that was probably the main key. And going away from that weekend, you just start looking at things completely different. You do go away as a changed person just from that weekend. So just if it was just the Fox weekend, I already had massive value from the program.
Yeah, amazing. And then how did your journey unfold from there? So from that very first training to that, because that one of the things that you do at the foundations is on that Saturday night, you do your very first coaching session. And that's usually this wonderful turning point for people. So how did the journey unfold, and what did you learn along the way from that very first coaching session to now, you're running a full-time coaching business and you've got other coaches coming and you've got members you're training and you're doing wonderful things. So what were some of the journey and learnings along the way for you?
Yeah. For me, it took a little while to actually work out what I needed to be doing. It took about 9 months of really diving deep into the training and really immersing myself in the training, because there's a lot of training. There's so much content. I started at the advanced coaching level, which is the second level, or I think the third level now. And even at that level, and that's one of the keys, I think, is just start. That doesn't matter where you start, because that you can progress through it. That's just to understand some of the principles and doing the triads, so that once you've done your Fox foundations, that you do triads to practice your coaching with other new coaches from your foundation weekend, which was amazing. So you again, as I said before, you're really diving in and practicing. It's not just theory. You've got to do the practice as well, and that's part of the program that you do that. So for the first 9 months, my thoughts was, I'm just going to do executive coaching because that's my background. But I left myself open to just try everything and do lots of free pro bono coaching just to get a real understanding. And then part of what Joe taught us at the foundation was around, okay, look at networking groups. And I joined BNI about 9-12 months in, which really changed my focus on my coaching.
Wonderful. I love that the moment you joined, you're such an all-in kind of person. So like you jumped straight in, you knew you wanted a full-time coaching business, you dove into all of the training. I remember like we would see you at every single training we would run. Like there's always Paul, and you're booking, like you're taking action with it. You're like every week we're hearing about like new pro bono clients that you're working with. So I love how you dove in and you just took action with it. It's amazing to see the result that you're getting as a result of that. And I think one of the wonderful things about the course is that having access to those systems so that you're able to take action along the way and helps you create progress. So brag a bit about what you're doing now. So, because how long have you been with us now, Paul?
3.5 years, or nearly 3.5 years. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So it has been a wild ride. And what I'm loving at the moment is that even through the coaching institute, the programs are changing so drastically and so quickly as well, from when I started and to now, especially around the marketing side. So really the coaching institute is the one-stop shop, because you learn everything. I've spent a lot of money on other marketing programs and done work with some overseas marketers, but the content's not really that much different to everything that's available within TCI. So which is really amazing, and a testament to how broad and how much value. And I think that's really the key, is how much value is within TCI, because you can spend a few $1,000s elsewhere and not even get just a small amount that you get within TCI. It really is sort of gives you everything from starting your business all the way through to how to market it and grow.
Absolutely. And I love that, when as the people are joining today, like you'll be there on the other side as well, and they'll get to connect and learn more. And we'll have this beautiful, wonderful community where we're always sharing with each other and supporting each other to succeed. It's phenomenal. So for somebody who's, maybe hearing your story right now and hearing the lifestyle that you're able to have, and wondering whether or not I should take on this journey and get started and perhaps take that first step towards a dream or a goal they've had for a long time about becoming a successful business coach, what would you share with them? What advice would you have for them?
The key is, and we hear this a lot, is that especially within TCI, is I wish I'd done this earlier. And it's certainly for me, and we all know that it's scary to do something that's outside of our comfort zone, and to reach out and try something new. But the key is, and I had the same thing with business. I always wanted to be my own business owner, back from when I was a teenager, but I never did it. So the key is really to just start, just do something, even if it's just a small amount. If you just take that first step and do that first course within TCI, you will get so much out of it. It's a really small investment for something that can really change your life. So as Susan Jeffries says, feel the fear and do it anyway. So really just step in, lean in, and what's the worst that can happen? Really?
Absolutely. It's that one step that opens up the door to a whole new world. And I personally, I'm so glad that you took that step all those 3.5 years ago, Paul.
Me too.
Yeah. And everything that you've created today. And I know we're going to be seeing plenty of you around for the next little while. And we'd love to see the success that you're going to be creating. And we're going to love to see the success that everybody else here on this class as well. I love it because we always have, on a class like this, we'll always have kind of the next Paul Rogers, somebody who's watching right now, who may be looking up to you and looking up to where you're at right now and thinking, that's exactly what I want. I want to be able to take 5 holidays with my family a year, and I want to be able to create a business that I love and live my own life the way that I want to. And, and maybe perhaps in a few years from now, you and I will get the opportunity to interview them on the success that they've created.
Yeah, well, I'm not going anywhere, because even in Masters Academy, there's just so much value. Why would I leave? It's it's just, the content just keeps growing and growing. So
oh, I'm sure we'll be here together forever. So thank you so much for joining us today, Paul. It's been a pleasure having you, and I know your story would inspire so many people to take that next step and create a future that they love.
Thanks, Glam. It's been great being here with you.